Ekiti State Government has promised to develop the state's tourism potential to attract both local and foreign tourists. The Director General of the state's Tourism Development Board, Wale Ojo-Lare, disclosed this on Saturday in Igede, Ekiti, at the event celebrating the 2025 International Tourism Day. Adeola Aderibigbe was there and tells us more.
It's World Tourism Day 2025, and in Ekiti State, the celebration is happening right at the source of one of Nigeria's most iconic rivers, the Osun-Osogbo River, which begins in the peaceful town of Igede, Ekiti. To mark the day, the Ekiti State Bureau of Tourism Development gathered tourists, culture enthusiasts, and locals for a special event celebrating the state's rich but often overlooked tourism heritage.
We are celebrating World Tourism Day, and the theme of World Tourism Day is tourism and sustainable transformation. When we picked this and said to the governor of Ekiti State, His Excellency Govt Abayomi Oyebandi, said that the only place we can that befits the theme of this year World Tourism Day theme is Igede, Ekiti, the source of Osun River.
The river, sacred in Yoruba spirituality and famed for its role in the Osun-Osogbo festival, holds immense cultural and economic potential, a fact not lost on residents of Igede, Ekiti.
This water flows from Igede to Gambia State, Gambia, our fellow African country, if we find out. So it serves a lot. And with the indigenous of this town, you can never be sick, and you make use of this water, you feel the impact on your body.
Osun at Igede here is the first Osun who come directly from heaven, who follow all the anomalies from heaven down here.
Tourists at the event expressed surprise and delight at the cultural significance of the site, urging the state to invest in access roads, signage, and hospitality services.
Yeah, we are expecting our government, both state and federal level, at least to come around and make this place well established as a sacred place, as a place of tourism where the whole world will recognize.
As the Osun River flows on from its quiet source in Igede, Ekiti to become a symbol of Yoruba heritage, so too is Ekiti, hoping that investments in tourism will flow into the state, bringing with it jobs, pride, and prosperity. Adeola Aderibigbe, TVC News, Igede, Ekiti.
Former Director General, Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation and Chief Executive Tourism Edge Consultants, also a veteran broadcaster, Omotosho joins me live now, of course, to talk more about this and put it in bird's eye view. Very pleased to have you with us this evening.
Thank you, Ikechukwu. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very kindly. Well, let me start, first of all, by saying that, of course, this year's theme is tourism and sustainable transformation. How appropriate is this theme, and what informed the decision to use this, of course, theme for this year?
Thank you, IK. Yes, how appropriate is this theme? That's the first part of your question. It's very, very appropriate because year in, year out, we've been talking about tourism development at World Tourism Day. And when we celebrate tourism, we never had a time that we sat ourselves together to say, how do we use this tourism concept to transform our economy? How do we use this tourism sector to ensure that we make it sustainable? That's having developed all the tourism facets and tourism attractions we got. And then you're talking of sustainability and then talking of transforming the economy with it. I will quickly say it's more than appropriate. We're sick and tired of talking about let's develop tourism without going beyond that. With this theme, we are so sure that we have a government that is very, very ready to do something tangibly. If the Federal Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Creative Arts saw a reason to mark the World Tourism Day in a way that this became the priority, is at the front burner, then it is a welcome development.
Right.
I would stress that so that, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked about the appropriateness of the theme for this year. What evolving roles do you think that tourism can play in shaping economies, communities, as well as ecosystems?
Oh, a lot of roles, IK. The roles are enormous. We need to look at what types of tourism do we even have for us to be able to understand the roles they'll play. In Nigeria, we cannot be found wanting when it comes to sports tourism, when it comes to our rich cultural heritage, when it comes to cuisine tourism, fashion tourism, all over the world, whenever Nigerians go with their lovely costume promoting our culture and our heritage, others are copying it, even through our Nollywood producers and presenters. Lots of films that we produce, a lot of, how would I put it now? A lot of people across the world are borrowing a leaf from this. And this takes me to a specific example, looking at a particular state that is serious in promoting tourism in Nigeria. I'm talking of Taraba. Taraba is now saying, by the state government and members of the executive, they made a presentation to the president that the presidency should please endorse the designation of Taraba as Taraba Tourism Zone for Nigeria, because they got what it takes. You need to visit Taraba to see how hospitable the people are and the rich tourism endowments they are blessed with. We call it Taraba wetlands. We don't see the wetlands all over Nigeria. God deposited them in specific states, and not solely to Taraba. But it gladdened my heart to hear the governor say, let it be tourism zone. By the time it becomes tourism zone, Lagos is not far-fetched. They're also doing a lot in the field of tourism. I'm aware in a few days they'll be hosting what they call the Electronic Powerboat Championships. That is also promoting sport tourism. If we could get specific 1 or 2 states in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria to make tourism priority.
Speaking with Omotosho, a former broadcaster, of course, who's with us at the moment, putting the tourism discussions into a bird's eye view. Well, very pleased to know that you are still there with us. You have mentioned the potentialities that are inherent in the tourism sector for us as a nation. You talked about the sports industry, you talked about our cultural heritage as well. In your submission, it is looking like we have not harnessed all of these potentialities in the industry, have we?
No, we haven't. But before I quickly go to that question, let me correct something. I'm not a former broadcaster. Once a broadcaster is always a broadcaster, IK.
Absolutely.
I'm still in the broadcast business.
Absolutely.
But from the private sector. Okay, now go to your question. Yes, we've not fully harnessed what we should. And I'm not worried, because I know that we cannot just sit down and be waiting for the likes of Ghana, Gambia, Egypt to overtake us. No. And why did I say that? Because I know some state governors get it. Some get it. Those that believe that this is a sector. Tourism cannot be promoted and harnessed and developed by the president. The president is just in Abuja supervising. All sectors have responsibilities joined to the state government. Any state governor that wants to accrue lots of revenue from the economy cannot shut his eyes from tourism, because tourism is a money spinner. We say tourism is life. See the likes of the small islands of the Caribbean, St. Martin, Guadeloupe, St. Kitts, Curacao, Trinidad and Tobago, Bermuda, tiny islands. They live solely on tourism, and they're making so many millions in dollars from tourism. So we cannot.
And as a matter of fact, in 2024, sorry to cut in, 10 trillion naira, I beg your pardon, 10 trillion dollars generated in 2024 from the tourism sector alone.
Exactly. Exactly. So we cannot fold our hands. We would not expect manna from heaven when God himself has blessed us with all the potentials and the attractions that we have. What we need to do is for the private sector to work with the state government. Most of the state governors are not liaising with tourism practitioners in the private sector. All the nations of the world that have done so well in the field of tourism, they didn't leave it solely to the private sector. State governments must be visibly seen as promoting tourism. And they got to do that with the private sector. Theirs is to create tourism environment, what we call tourism infrastructure, enabling environment. So I give kudos to Taraba. Taraba has gotten it right, and that's the way to go.
Taking the lead.
I give kudos to Lagos State. Yeah, I give kudos to Lagos State. Osun is not far behind. Osun is also catching up. FCT is doing a lot in the field of tourism infrastructure. I believe as much as I know the gentleman, very soon he will now go to specific calls of tourism.
All right.
So we want our governors to take the bull by the horn, in summary, and work with the private sector.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this is a very good place, to lift the conversations. Really, you talked about importance of collaboration between governments and private sectors. As well in developing this tourism sector. Former Director General, Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation and Chief Executive, Tourism Edge Consultants, also a veteran broadcaster. Let me put it that way again, Motayo or Motasha. Many thanks indeed for talking to us.
Thank you, Ike.
All right.
Have a good one.